What's up, guys? Lord 4-Star.
Paladin Xanthic.
Coming at you guys with a different type of video today. We don't usually discuss The Walking Dead on this channel, but today we're going to do just that because this season finale has just been so amazing. I have rewatched it probably 1,000 times since it aired. Going through it, looking at the lighting, looking at the camera angles, where the trees are, trying to find out exactly who Negan killed. And let me tell you, I think we finally found it out. Hear us out here. It's going to be a little bit all over the place, and we might go from detail to detail, and it might not make much sense. But please, when you hear us out, play this video over again before watching that final scene with Negan from the time he comes out to the time he's bashing the skull in. And everything we're saying will make complete sense to you. Our theory is, not theory, I just consider it a fact at this point because of the way the lighting is and the way the camera is, it just seems like it's Daryl. Now why? Okay, well you gotta look at the lighting. When Negan is looking directly at Abraham, the shadow, you consider this the way I'm Negan right now. Consider this. Right about here is where the shadow was ending on his face. And by the time that he was killing the person, his shadow would stop right about here, meaning that he was particularly a little bit farther down the line. Either that or his angle on the person that he was hitting was different. Now that's where everything comes into play. Because there's also another light on the other side of his face, right about here, that would indicate that there's another lighting source on the other side of him, adjacent to the one that is shining and creating the massive shadow. And that is the light that Glenn is sitting in front of. Now if we take that, we have it as Glenn, Rosita, Daryl, Abraham, Maggie, Rick, Sasha, Aaron, Carl, Eugene. Okay. And when Negan said catch a tiger, he went from Glenn to Daryl. And by the time he says it looks like he is coming up and to the left at Daryl, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, watch that very last scene again. When he says it looks like he is approaching whoever he is approaching from, he's coming up left. He's coming from where Glenn is coming.
Yes.
So that would mean that Daryl's head is now turned over to the right. That's why you don't see the RV. Daryl's head is now turned over to the right.
He's looking more into the woods instead of at the RV and everything, because now he's looking more towards Glenn, and Glenn is away from everybody. So that would make it more seeming like Daryl is the one that got beat. And, there was a lot of speculation before the beginning of this next half season that it was going to be Norman Reedus' last season. He's also coming out with a new show, Ride with Norman, I believe it's called. It looks interesting. It's on AMC. But yeah, it's just there's a lot of things pointing to Daryl, and it finally hit us, and we had to discuss it, and we finally came up with the theory, and we're pretty sure it's right. The lighting and everything else that is coming into play with it seems right.
Today's date is April 9th, 2016, and I would say 7 hours ago, roughly, is when we devised this whole theory, and then we spent the next 45 minutes going over and reviewing the eeny, meeny, miny, mo part, just to see the angles, how they do it, and not only that, you gotta look at Glenn's perspective. Obviously, we can tell since Negan is just directly walking up to the person and then bashing their head in. It's not like the comics where he has them dragged up to him. It's not like that. So, based off this fact, we now know that if it in fact was Glenn, we would see not only saviors, but the initial lighting source of why Negan even had the shadow over his face in the first place, if it was Glenn. Now this is just based off the fact that he was walking towards Glenn from the way the light was shining. Like, that in and of itself is proof that it could not be Glenn, because if it was Glenn, then we would have seen not only an adjacent lighting source to the one that was directly behind Glenn, but we would have seen Savior standing around as well, which is how we can tell that it's more off to the right of the RV, because that's the only spot where Saviors are not. No Savior is right in front of the hood of the RV. None of them. That's open trees right there. That's where Rick and them came from. It's still wide open. Like, come on, like, I'm not saying this is like really easy to understand or anything, because like I said, everything's kind of all over the place, and you kind of gotta, everything's gotta work with itself. And also the next fact, but chalk it all down to it, and this is possibly the most solid evidence that we have of who it is. And that's based off of everything we've given you. The fact that the RV isn't in the shot, and there's only one spot where there's no Savior standing. Look at that. And also, Stephen Oog, the voice actor for Trevor Phillips in GTA 5, he was standing directly by them, and when they showed him, he had nothing but saviors standing behind him. Literally, the only spot that has 0 saviors are where Rick and them came from. So that would mean that the perspective or Negan's angle on how he attacked them was changed. So that would mean that either the person who got hit changed the way their head was, or Negan changed the way he was coming at them. He means that he was probably coming from Glenn to Daryl, and this is based off the fact with the catch a tiger, because he went catch to Glenn and then back over to the right to Daryl for a tiger. And since the fact that he looks like he's coming up to the left, and right there's the tree line with no RV in sight, he doesn't kill women or children. Abraham and Eugene still got to do their shit with the bullets. I'm just saying, Norman Reedus may not be coming back for Season 7, except for flashbacks. Same with Season 8 and for the rest of them. And also, one very, 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 very vital fact that everyone is overlooking. Dwight is in the show. And for anybody who's a fan of the comics knows that Dwight is Rick's current right-hand man.
And uses Daryl's same crossbow, wears his leather jacket with the sleeveless and the wings on the back of the jacket. It makes it everything just come together. And it just makes the most sense to us. Hopefully it does to you guys too. I mean, any way you look at it,
it could be anyone.
Yeah, it really could.
Except for Maggie, Sasha, Michonne, because Negan doesn't kill women and children, so that also rules out Carl. Unless they decide to change that fact, then this could very well be Rosita. This could be Rosita or Michonne. If they decide to change the fact that he doesn't kill women or children from the comics, then this could very well, in fact, be Rosita or Michonne. All we know is the person is on the right of Rick. So where Rick's perspective is, the person is on the right. We know this because the way the person's looking, to their left is where Negan gestured with his right-hand side, meaning that would have been Rick's left. So Carl was on Negan's right, Rick's left.
Glenn being on his left.
No, Glenn's on Rick's right side.
Yeah, sorry.
And he's on Negan's left side.
Sorry.
And also, if you look at it, when Negan walks up and he says it, his back shoulder, the one he's not pointing Lucille with, is faced more towards a slanted direction towards the back left, which is where he was coming from, or what he looked like he was coming from at the beginning of the shot when he says it. And that's what makes us believe that this is Daryl. We don't want it to be. There's really nobody we want it to be. I mean, who do you really want it to be? Because
we all love the characters. You can't.
Even though Eugene wasn't really useless until like this last season and a half, Abraham didn't really become likable until this last half season. It's just Aaron. The only reason why he is not even in it at all, he is 0% in the running for anything. He is too minor of a death to mean anything. Yes, he's been there for Maggie. Yeah, he's helped the group out a lot since getting them to Alexandria. But really, he's outlived his usefulness. Really, what use do we have for Aaron? And not even a death, not even like a shock value death would be good for him at this point, because he's done so little recently that it really wouldn't matter. And that's why Norman Reedus, Stephen Ewan, or whoever the hell the actor is that plays Abraham, he's a hell of an actor.
Michael Cutlets.
Michael Cutlets? Cutlets? Yeah. Mutton chops. But I really like all three of the male actors that are in the running for this. I hope that... the only reason why I hope it's Daryl is because everyone thinks he's invincible, and you've got to be shown that you're not. And that's my only reason for wanting it to be Daryl. Other than that, I don't want it to be any of them. And I honestly wish that when Negan starts swinging the bat, since none of them are tied up, that someone grabbed the fucking bat and bashed his face in. I'm just saying, that'd have been probably the most realistic thing you should have done. Yeah, you probably would have died in the process, but Negan's not there anymore. Yeah, the rest of your guys just got captured, but now you give them a better chance of all getting out with still only that one person losing that one person, and Negan's dead too. Therefore, you've held up your end of the bargain with Hilltop. You get half their shit for the rest of the fucking time you exist. I think everyone wins in this situation. Yeah, you lose a character. Yes, you lose a character, but that's going to happen now anyway. So really, that doesn't matter what you do. But yeah, anyway, guys, that just about wraps up our theory. Is there anything else you'd like to include, Paladin?
Not really, other than, hopefully the season finale gets here fast, the season premiere, gets here quicker than we all would like. it to get here. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching. This is Lord 4-Star's channel.
Yeah, guys,
take it away.
That just about wraps up this video, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell your friends about me. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter @Lord4Star. This is Lord 4-Star signing out. You guys have a blessed day. Peace.